and Troy in Blue Jacket, Oklahoma. Hey, Troy, thanks for being a first-time caller. What's on your mind today?
Hey, Tom. Hey, I was just listening to the previous caller.
Herb Whitehouse, the guy who kind of brought us for the 401k. It's interesting, isn't it, how, David Stockman has come out and apologized for Reaganomics, and Herb Whitehouse is coming out and saying, yeah, the 401k, it was an interesting idea, but yeah. Anyhow, back to you. I'm sorry, Tom. Or Troy.
Well, because of circumstances, my mom passed away in August of last year, and so in handling her estate and stuff, I did some homework and started looking into our investments, and I came to the realization that these fiduciary systems or people, money managers or whatever, aren't looking out for our interests. They're actually trying to take the money that my mom and dad had worked hard all their life for.
Yep.
And because of it wasn't a straight 3% fee, but between a rider and this and different percentages, it totaled to 3% a year just in fees.
Wow.
And so
every year, 3%. That's incredible.
Yeah. And so I talked to a tax person, and I talked to other money managers and stuff, and what they told me is not what they tell you, it's what they don't tell you.
Yep.
And be careful, and just so I just want people out there to know that to check their portfolio, see what they're getting involved, see what they're investing in.
Yep.
My mom was very conservative when it came to that because, she didn't want to lose anything. So most of her was in cash and bonds.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to liquidate the account. The guy was all, well, that's 3%. That's because of stock market. We've been on a straight line low. And I said, but it was a cash account. There was no investment.
Troy, your phone is breaking up.
He didn't know what to say when I told him it was a cash account.
Right.
And so anyway, I liquidated the account, and I'm just now.
Yeah. You're trying to warn folks. Troy, this is something that just blows my mind. And thank you very much for the call, Troy. I really appreciate it. That in the United States right now, if you've got a little bit of money set aside, or you've been saving your money, you've been doing what they tell you you're supposed to do. You created your company has a 401k. You created your very own IRA. Or you even take after-tax savings. And, open an account with whatever, fill in the blank, some company, and say to them, here's my future. This is what I intend to retire on. Please invest it well for me. That they have no legal obligation to do that. They can lie to you. They can, lying might be actually a little more difficult. They can lie by omission. They can neglect to tell you things. Like they can neglect to tell you that they're being paid a big commission by this particular fund that we're going to put your money in, whereas it would be a much smaller commission if we put it in this other fund. They can just neglect to tell you that. It's not information you need to know. And so basically we have a financial services industry in the United States led by the big banks, but there's a bunch of big finance companies as well. And a lot of small folks out there presenting themselves as investment advisors who are hustlers and who are ripping us off. And here's where it gets really interesting, is every time there's one political party that keeps trying to pass a law saying that if you are an investment advisor, if you are handling other people's money, you do have a fiduciary responsibility. You do have a legal responsibility to do what's best for your client, not for yourself. When those two things come into conflict. I mean, it's great to do what's best for your client and for yourself. That's how it's supposed to work out, right? You get paid $50 an hour for the work you're doing, and the work that you happen to be doing is investing this guy's money so that he's, getting a much better return than the $50 he paid for the advice that you gave or whatever it would be. But that's not the case. And one political party in this country keeps trying to make it so that people's savings are safe. And the other political party in this country keeps fighting those efforts. Why? Why does the Republican Party consistently fight any efforts to regulate the financial services industry? Why is it that they even want to do away with Dodd-Frank and in particular the part of Dodd-Frank that created the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, that has recovered billions of dollars from small investors that had been ripped off largely by big banks? Why is it that the Republican Party is virtually unanimous in wanting to defend investment advisors who are basically thieves, who are hustlers, who are charlatans? Why? Is it some like moral corruption? Is it that they get big contributions from that industry? Is it all of the above? Is it that they believe that they genuinely believe that the best system is a completely unregulated system? If they really believe that, would they go into a hospital that has absolutely no rules or regulations? Would they eat in a restaurant where there's no food standards, cleanliness standards? I mean, the list goes on, but I just, if nothing else, I mean, there's so many issues out there that we can talk about, but if there's nothing else that draws a really bright contrast between Democrats and Republicans, this is it.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program.